There are currently 130,000 U.S. veterans in the United States that are legally blind, and 1 million plus vets with low vision, and every single one is facing challenges every day. But we're here to help. This is Wisdom Tech Talk. Thanks for joining us with a live studio audience coming to you from the Wisdom for the Blind studios in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our passion is to talk about new and old technology that may help blind or vision impaired people in their day-to-day life. Let's do it. This is Wisdom Tech Talk, and this is your host, Benjamin Keeley.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize again for being late. Got stuck in traffic. Tonight, we have a good friend of mine. Is it Sam? Josh.
Josh, yeah.
Josh Rivera is going to be talking about the eSight tonight. How are you doing tonight, Josh?
I'm doing well, Ben. How are you?
Good, now that I'm home and started the show here. So
Perfect. Yeah. I'm glad you made it home safely.
So introduce yourself and tell us about what you're going to talk about before we get into the demo there.
Absolutely. My name is Josh Rivera, and I am with the Magnification Company. It's a company here in St. Pete, Florida, that we carry just about anything and everything for assistive technology, for anywhere from handheld magnifiers all the way to heavy or small wearables, CCTVs, just about anything you can think of assistive technology here in the Tampa area in Florida, and surrounding cities and stuff. So yeah, I've been with the company for about 4 or 5 months now, coming from the OrCam world. And yeah, I'm excited. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the latest wearables. It's called the eSight Go. Yeah, so if we're ready, we can start hopping on that one.
All right. So before we start, Josh is going to take breaks every once in a while. So if you have a question, just wait until he opens the floor. And then when he does open the floor, just tell us your name and where you're from, and then ask your question. So with all that said, if everybody can make sure their mics are muted, and Josh, let's see what you got to offer here.
All right, perfect. Well, okay. So as I was saying, we're going to be talking about the eSight Go. And the eSight Go, it's from the company, eSight Corporation, which they're based out of Toronto, Canada. And they have recently been the company has been bought up by Gentex Corporation, which is a much bigger company, which is good news for us, the users, because they do a lot of manufacturing. So they're going to help in a lot when it comes to reducing the prices of these devices. eSight has had a long, how would you say it? A long history of having high-end products as far as price goes. And the eSight Go is not an exception. However, it's more cost effective than the successors, previous devices. So just as a history class, real quick, the eSight Go becomes the 5th device that eSight Corporation has released. The first one was released back in 2013. So within 11 years, they've done 5. So it's pretty out there every 2 years or so, fairly consistent. And they're taking a leap every 2 years. They do a huge leap, and in this case, I'm excited to show you, because not only is it becoming very popular, especially here in Florida, as this device has just been announced this past June. So within 3 months or so, and it's already becoming one of the most popular wearable devices out there. And here's the reason why. So it starts with the actual look of it. So I'll be able to describe it physically and show you as well. If you be able to see, it looks like just it comes as close as you get as a thick pair of sunglasses. And that's when really it's exciting, because they starting wearables nowadays are becoming much more less bulkier, less more easier to wear around people without being obvious or being being pointed out or be outstanding as far as physically how the person looks wearing devices or wearables. So this, if you see a person wearing this, you can easily just mistake it as, oh, he might be affected, he or she might be affected by light, so they have a thicker pair of sunglasses. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. It's just a black on black lenses pair of goggles. It comes with the bands are very flexible on the back. They're almost elastic, that they can, a strong elastic that you can fold them so it can mold, around your ears and temple. And it also, at the very back of those, the back of the glasses, it has two holes. That's how you attach the lanyard. The lanyard fills two purposes. Number one, obviously, it's just a lanyard that if you just leave in hanging on your neck, if you just want to take a break for any reason, you want to just pause for a second. And number two, if you tie them on the back, it also gonna help distribute the weight just around your head, so you don't have all the weight right in front of your face, which is great. With that being said, another thing that eSight Corporation has done with the eSight Go is that it now has a portable battery that's going to hang around your neck. And this is another great point, because all this weight was taken off of the actual goggles. And now you just have it resting on your neck, which is amazing, because it's very ergonomic as well. So it follows your curvature very nicely. And so a lot of the weight is going to be on, resting on your shoulders, which you won't feel, honestly. And then that, helps a lot on the weight of the entire glasses. So it makes the experience a lot more comfortable, and you can wear these for a much longer period of time rather than, other wearables. You wear them for about 20-30 minutes and you start feeling it on, back of your head or on your neck, and so on and so forth. It keeps going down. So with this one, it helps a little bit better. The only caveat, the reason, what you sacrifice besides having two things, is that you're now tethered by a cable. And so it's a USB-C to a USB-C. And something to notice, this battery, it gives you about anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. And it just depends on your brightness that you're going to be dealing with the glasses. And before we get started, and I'll show you how to plug it in, the eSight Go is basically a wearable video magnifier. Okay, so it doesn't have OCR, so basically it's just magnification and freezing like pictures so you can look around. So it's a very simple device, but what it does really well. And I'll start talking about physically about how it looks, and then I'll explain what kind of features it has. So again, as I was mentioning, front is just pitch black lenses, right? Nothing sees through it. On the inside, right? So if you're looking from the inside in, you're gonna feel or see a couple lenses in there. And those lenses are, if I can give you the specifications, it's just it's 1920 times 1080 high resolution OLED screens, and there's two of them. Also, you may want to know as well that these lenses, if you use prescription, those are available for you to add prescription. So that's available to you if you just to enhance your visual experience with the device even more. So you can add your prescriptions to these glasses. At the opposite, so looking back out from the outside, there's a 12 megapixel camera right in the center of both lenses. It's just a high definition camera, and it has a 45-degree angle, which is fairly impressive. And another thing we want to know about this is that the company is mentioning that, not just by the way, not many companies, well, actually no wearable headset company say that you can walk with their product on. What do I mean? When you wear a lot of wearables or headset video magnifiers, things are a lot closer than, obviously, as you magnify things, and it can give you a lot of vertigo, or things can seem a lot closer, or yeah, so if you see a step, you might think it's right in front of you, and in reality, it could be a lot farther, it could be a lot closer. So with this one of the greatest things and what a lot of people are talking about is that it doesn't interfere with it doesn't block your peripheral vision, and you have 100% um, able to see under the glasses. So nothing underneath it is obstructed. So all you have to do is tilt your eyes lower, and then you have 100% visual ability in as far as walking with this product. So you can be going on a walk with these products with the eSight Go, and wouldn't be have any problems as long as you're not walking using specifically the magnification portion. Just tilt your eyes a little bit lower, and you have 100% range of seeing where you are in that process. So that in itself is amazing. Again, it's the first company, I believe, that it's advertising that you can you can be mobile while having this device on. And again, peripheral availability and lower side availability is amazing. So again, as far as driving, it's still not a product for driving, and that's standard in all wearable and assistive devices. So even though you can walk with these, you can still not drive with this product. So just a little information there. So let's continue talking about the physically the product, and more about the buttons and how does it work. Okay, so starting from the left side, on the left side handle, there is an arrow pointing upwards, and it is very contrasted, is white with black, and that just points where you are going to be connecting the cable from the battery pack. Okay, so that portion is well indicated. And following up that left-hand side, you're gonna feel or see one button at the very top. Now it's black on black, so it's hard to see it, but if you touch it, it's very easy to feel. So you're gonna press and hold it to turn on and off, or if you're gonna tap it once to either put it to sleep or wake it up if the device is on. So the left side is very easy. Now let's move on to the right side. The right side has 4 buttons. Okay, and again, they're black on black, so they're still hard to physically see it, but they point out quite a bit, so you're actually able to feel it. So starting from the back forward, the back button is the settings button. So that's what you're gonna press in order to change some settings, but also that's gonna be your freeze button. So if you want to take a picture of a large document, that's how you're gonna do it, and I'll show it here shortly. And then followed by a volume, or if you have an iPhone or any other cell phone, that's like your volume control. It feels like a 2 buttons connected, and it's just like a rocker. So volume up, volume down, or that's how you zoom as well. And then at the very front, you're gonna have your mode button. Okay, so that's how you're gonna change between contrast, zoom, colors. And then there's another mode that is called tilt that we're going to talk about it as well. So those are the 4 buttons. Sounds very complex, but it's very easy. Basically, all you're going to use is the rocker on forward or backwards in order to zoom in or zoom out. That's simple. The back button to take pictures, and the front button to change colors or tilt your screen. Okay. And then one more thing I do want to mention is the nose guard. And then it comes with the nose guard it's completely moldable. So it's a very high soft plastic that you can, if you push it closer, it gets tighter, and you can expand it to make it wider as well. So depending on your nose size, it can accommodate, and it comes with 3 more attachments. So each attachment becomes a little bit taller. So if you have a longer nose, or depending on your vision, it's gonna make the device set correctly, so your eyes can match the screens within the device. Okay, so that is the physically, that's what the eSight Go looks like and feels like. I think the total weight of it, including the device with the cable and the battery pack all together, is about 13.4 ounces. So it sounds a lot, but remember, the most of the weight is on your around your neck. Okay, so once you have this experience, it's still much lightweight than other products. And again, remember that you still can be mobile, and yeah, again, 3 to 5 hours battery life. So, okay, so let's get started here. Let's set it up here, and I'll show you. So starting with the battery pack, okay, on the very center of the base, it's a USB-C port that is actually highlighted white. We're gonna we're gonna put one end of the USB-C cable. Yeah, we're gonna snatch that, and then we're gonna go ahead on the left side. Remember I showed you that arrow pointing out on the left side? Well, that's where you're gonna put in the other end of the cable. Okay. So let me do that. And that's going to automatically start giving battery to your actual glasses. Just know that you cannot wear these glasses without this portable battery, because the glasses itself does not have any battery whatsoever. It's 100% reliable on this battery pack. So yeah, so I'm going to put this on, and I want you to be able to see what I'm seeing through it. So if you allow me a second, I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to start. I'll be able to share what I'm seeing. So 1 second here as I get this through. I'm going to open the app, the eSight Companion app. I'm going to hit reconnect. And this is just, eSight has a companion app. You don't have to get it at all. It's just for training purposes. Is really great to have, because I can see what the person who's trying them on is able to see. So if any questions or any issues, the trainer is able to kind of understand what the person is looking at. So a great option for it as well. So let me connect here. Okay, it's connecting. So we tested out before, so give us some minute here. I have to make sure we're in the correct Wi-Fi setting here. A second. All right. Not sure why it kicked me out. Again, this is not part of the actual device experience. It's just for me to show you guys how to do it. Let me detach this for a second. Great. Okay. Give me a second here. All right, kick me out. So let me stop that. Okay. And if you can tell right now, I'm able to see my screen just because I have 100% visibility underneath the glasses, which is again amazing, which allows you to walk. So I'm just gonna get the password here, put it in here. I'm gonna go back. Okay. Any moment now we'll connect. It was working just fine. Don't you love it when you're trying to do demo? You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you just fine. And now
Okay.
we see a video.
Okay, 1 second. All right.
So while we're waiting that to queue up there, Josh,
Okay.
you said that you can use prescription lenses. Can you also use a white or a clear glass versus a sunglass?
No, so yeah, that's a good question. So you can wear your prescriptions on the lenses, but remember the outside, it's not all the visual cues that you're gonna see through the glass, it's all electronically. So in reality, nothing is coming. You're not seeing through the lenses. You're seeing the electrical or the virtual or
The screen.
the screen, basically. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. The fact that it's outside is black, it doesn't really matter. So if it could have been transparent, it doesn't matter because everything was it would be electronic. So but the answer is no. It just you can just get it on black on the outside.
So if you were to go from outside to inside, um, you really wouldn't need clear glasses if it's acting as a monitor versus a pair of glasses.
Correct. Yep. So if you go outside, then actually you might want to, well, you do want to lower the contrast so it's actually not as bright outside. I have been reading reviews and they're saying sometimes if you're sensitive to light, the settings won't allow you to go all the way, make it dark enough so you can, it may affect you a little bit as far as, not getting it low enough for it. But yeah, basically, as soon as you come in, either if you're inside or outside, you're still seeing through the, through that camera, basically. So it'll adjust to if you're outside or inside.
So it's
And it has
right. So it's gonna adjust the camera, but you're still gonna be looking at it like you're looking at a monitor on your desk.
correct. Exactly. Yes.
Thank you.
I let me see if I
When you're ready, I have questions too,
yeah,
Josh.
no, yeah, go ahead.
So I have two questions. Sounds pretty good. This is David, by the way.
Okay, hi David.
Hi. First question is, does that battery have a clip so you can clip it on your belt as an option to get it off your neck?
Yeah, good question. So it does not. It's actually just it's molded to be around your neck. So and the cable is not long enough. It's barely long enough to be reaching behind your neck to the top connector.
Right.
So no, you are not able to like put it in your pocket or around your belt or whatsoever. It has to be
Okay.
around your neck. But yeah, you could, I mean, technically you can put it underneath your shirt too. So like it doesn't, like I'm wearing a black shirt, so it doesn't like interfere too much, but you
Right.
can barely see it. But
Okay.
yeah.
Second question I had was, does it have like a infrared capability for nighttime viewing to, bring in light so that the night is day? Like an infrared scope?
Correct. No, it doesn't. We can play with the contrast a little bit, but it's not gonna be a super it's not gonna do an amazing job when you're in a super dark area.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
if
down the road.
yeah, it could be. But yeah, if you have some sort of flash or anything you could use to display, um, that could help a little bit or whatnot.
Okay.
But so it doesn't have night vision.
It doesn't, no. Let me disconnect, maybe. Let me turn it off and on. Maybe that'll do it.
Are you sure you want to shut down?
Okay. So I'm gonna turn it back on. Any other questions?
Are you sure you want to shut down? Yes, select.
No other questions there? But yeah, it's yeah, this product is amazing. So if you want to go on a quick walk around you know, your neighborhood, I mean, this is great, and you can be walking and reading your sign, you know, seeing the houses around the neighborhood. So yeah, it doesn't interfere with you physically moving around, which is amazing. And I hope I can get it connected here for us to see what I'm seeing, and I can show you the modes, because it's not the same if I just, you know, talk them through you, right? But we'll make it work here. So it's a slow start. Turn it off, back on. It's searching for a device. Okay, here we go.
Allow support to connect. Yes, selected.
Okay, all right. Are you guys able to see this? Ben, are you able to see this?
Yeah, Josh, we can see it now.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm just setting it back on the tripod. Okay, so you will be able to see what I'm seeing now. I won't let you see my password. Okay. All right. So are you able to see my screen at all? It takes it away, right?
It comes and goes.
Yeah.
Now-
Okay.
Now we see
Oh,
your,
okay.
your
Perfect. Okay. All right. So I was hoping that you guys could see both my face and also what I'm seeing. It might be small right now, but okay. So remember that I said on the right-hand side, there's 4 buttons, correct? So on the very back, I'm just going to go ahead and press it once. And it's going to freeze up.
272. Battery is at 56%.
Okay.
Device connected. Free.
Okay, I'm gonna freeze that picture right there, okay? That's the back button. I just press and hold it for a few seconds and it froze that picture. So even though I'm moving, that picture is still there. Now, that volume well, let's start with the very first button, that is the mode button. So if I press the mode, the first one is contrast, okay? So that's what you're gonna switch in order to make things brighter or less brighter. You can go up to 10%, and every time you change it, it talks to us, right? So whatever is gonna visually, whatever helps you there, we can select that, and then we press the main button again, right? So the mode button, and we'll go to color filter. And this is your standard color filters, as many assistive devices have, visually wise, you know. So you got your grayscale, you got black and white. You're gonna have your white on black, yellow, blue, blue on yellow, and then you got normal. So we do. Okay. And now if you keep going, you got your volume. Not gonna mess with that. And then we have the zoom button. So pressing the rockers, the forward or backwards, that's gonna zoom in. Here's the beauty of it. The more you zoom in, that picture is frozen in front of me, right? So now I can tilt my head and start from the top left, and I can keep moving my head, and it's gonna follow the direction of my head using that gyroscope, which is it's pretty amazing. I didn't mean to do contrast. So you can zoom up to 24 times. And remember, this is an electronic magnifier, right? So you can go 24, but after 18, things are starting to get a little bit distorted as far as reading. But then again, follows my head. so I can move around for me to see it. So again, I just move my head and then start moving it just to, you know, as you would with your eyes, basically just using your head. And then you can go back. And yeah, so that's the freezing method. So that would be, I'm gonna press the back button one more time, press and hold it, and it would unfreeze. So we're back to live mode, okay? And then there's one more cool trick that this thing does. So here I was on my computer following this new hurricane trends that are tentatively, possibly not hoping that it doesn't hit Florida. But I just want to kind of show you what this can do, right? And this is a live mode, so I'm just going here. And if I want to change the contrast again, not contrast, but color filter, you know, I want to do gray, black on white. So the more you move on these white and black things, and you might want to hold still for a few seconds here, and then it changes. So normal grayscale are usually good for something electronically. So if you're looking at a computer or a phone, something pixelated, those are going to be the best options here. Go back to normal here. Oh, but this is the next thing I want to show you. It has a mode that is called tilt, right? And tilt, it has 4 times that you can tilt it underneath it. So here's what tilt is for. If I press it, I'm a little zoomed in, so let me zoom out a bit more. Okay, let me go back to tilt. So you can tilt 4 times. And I basically, instead of, like, I have my head straight as I did before, but now visually the camera is pointing downwards a little bit. It went about, I don't know how far degrees, how low it went, but there's 2 reasons why you might use this tilt. Number one is if you're using, if you're playing cards, right, you don't have to tilt your head all the way down in order to you know, see what you're playing here. My head is basically still straight, but visually the camera is pointing a little bit downward, so I don't have to do this, you know, tilt my head all the way down. And this is as far as it goes. So this is the point of view that my head is directed, and this is how low you know, my head is, so I don't have to move my head much. The other reason why you might need tilted is if you want to lay up, right? So if you want to lay on a couch a little bit upward, so my head looking up, I tilted, I could be watching my computer or, you know, or maybe a TV. So you can recline a little bit and you can use that tilt version for you to, you know, see the screen and without needing to bend your neck all the way down and sacrifice that. So tilt, it's great in that aspect. So let me bring it back to normal. So it only goes to 4% down. It doesn't go up, just down. And remember, everything is electronic. So, all right, so let's do some, let me freeze the mode here. So I am going to hold this about arm's length. Give it a freeze, okay? And this is something physical, like a brochure. And I'm gonna change, let me show you what contrast does. Right, so that changes a little bit. Okay. So when something is physical, like a book, a magazine, or anything like that, letters are much, much better than perhaps seeing something through a screen. And then if you go to zoom and you zoom in, that's when you can tilt your head a little bit. And again, it's magnification. So change the color filter here. So I can move up and down and it's gonna display what I am. Zoom. So if you want to keep zooming. 16. All right. So read the Wisdom for the blind. So there's 50 LC corporation, nonprofit. dedicated to providing blind and visually impaired veterans, adults, and youth with place to learn and acquire wisdom and connect with their communities. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna press and hold the back button to unfreeze, and then we're back to live mode.
-1.0.
So back to Zoom, and so on and so forth, right? So we get the idea here. You can keep it on live mode if you want to, and we can just keep zooming. And instead of moving your head, you can just move your hand and do that. You guys are still seeing it, correct?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so you can choose if you want to move your head if you freeze the picture, or if you can move your head or your hand, whatever fits better, you know, your needs or makes things better. You get to choose that option. So just know something that I've noticed here is that if I do change the color filter to anything other than grayscale, if you move too fast, you know, it distorts a little bit. So you want to hold a little bit still. See what I'm saying here? So remember, as you move, it will adjust a little bit, and it should do that better here. So we can always zoom.
Tilt zoom.
Okay.
You are connected to Linksys 7200.
Wrong button there. Go. So this is a baby shower card. So I'm reading it. Yeah, so I don't like that grayscale. So let me go back to.
Baby shower, does that mean you're having a baby?
What was that?
You said a baby shower card? Does
Yeah,
that mean you're having a baby?
no, not me. No, don't put that on me yet. Yeah, so just like that, I mean, pretty easy, very simple. Yeah, and a very good quality. Again, the more you, and I guess we can go outside and I'll be able to test a few things. You want to try that? So bear with me here. So again, I can be mobile because 100% of my lower site is available here. I'm gonna go outside. It's pitch dark, pitch black. Let's see if we can play with some things here. So
Color filter.
it'll be contrast. So yeah, it's not gonna be able to help you much when it comes to pitch black, because that's as far as contrast.
Contrast 1.
Yeah, so if you guys are able to see that, yeah, definitely not recommended. When it comes to that, you guys want to test some TV? Sorry for the mess here.
Yeah, let's see what it does on the TV.
All right, perfect. And that's why we do some testing here. So turn this on. I can recline a little bit here. We'll do the tilt. All right. So my head is, you can tell right now I'm looking, my head is like resting up. So I'm gonna tilt it. Before, look at that. I didn't even move my head and it's doing that. So let's see. Okay. Let's change a few things here.
Contrast 0. Contrast 0. Contrast 1.
I like 0 better. And then we'll do some zoom in.
4.
How's that?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and remember my head is tilted upwards a little bit. So yeah, the virtual tilt, it's allowing me to just be relaxed. Gosh, I wish you guys can see my face here and you can tell, but yeah, let's go back to tilt and you guys can tell where my head is. Right? So I'm almost looking at the ceiling here. See my fan? But I want to tilt and I'm just relaxed over here. All right. So Yeah, basically, let me go back to Zoom again. Beauty of it is that it doesn't, because it doesn't interfere with my side. I can be mobile, move around, have no issues with it. So let me stop sharing here, go back to, you guys can see me. And yeah, that's basically the Eastside Go.
So, Josh, what if you had dropped a pair of keys or a pill on the floor? Would you be able to magnify that enough to kind of scan around on the floor using that?
Yeah, you can, I mean, as you can, for that, I would start with zooming. Let's see. So I would start, make sure you zoom all the way out, and let's drop something here. What can we use? Let's see, my AirPods are on the floor, right? Oh, you guys are not able to see it. Let me see if I can share one more time. Okay. All right, can you guys see the share? Is my screen sharing?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I just dropped a pair of AirPods on the floor, right? Unfortunately, that is, the clarity wise is so, that's very easy to spot. Let's see if I can find something right here. But yeah, you basically can just be walking around, you can't find the keys, and if you kind of glance a little bit on the floor and you notice something remotely close, right, you can zoom in. And my feet is right here, so I can just keep walking around. And again, my peripheral vision is not affected, so I can kind of notice something is by my feet, so I can tell really close, so on and so forth. So yeah, basically you could, zoom as much as you need to. So there's a printer right in front of me, I can turn it on and see the on button, trying to find out what that said. It says copy, scan, maintenance, and then the buttons here that, you go sideways, up, okay, so on and so forth. So yeah, just keep tilting back. Then again, whenever I want to walk, I have 100% availability. I have no peripheral blockage. Let me go back. No peripheral blockage and no obstruction on the bottom. Because again, here you're able to see it now. But basically, the bottom of my eyes are just 100% free. So yeah. Any questions on this? I mean, if you're able to tell, they're a little bit bulky, but they're very, very close. They're becoming very close to, being a regular size, just a very thick pair of sunglasses, which, I bet you the next one in a couple of years is going to be much lighter again, and it's going to be much smaller, just similar to the Metas, the Ray-Ban Metas too, which they're pioneering, making assistive technology, especially wearables, to be a lot more normal, if you will, much lighter, and just not be able to tell if someone is actually wearing an assistive device or just a pair of sunglasses. So definitely excited about the future, and the Eastside Go is a very, very good start. Quality wise is great. The 100% visibility is great on the underneath it. It goes to 23% magnification. Yeah, it comes to 1 year, 3 to 5 hour battery, depending on what you're accomplishing. And it's mostly with the contrast, how much brighter you make the screen, that's going to dictate if you'll get between, you'll get 3-4 hours instead of the 5. So if at the lower you go, the higher the battery percentage you're going to get the most out of it. So yeah, that's basically the Eastside Go. Again, it's fairly new, just came out June. and a lot of people are getting excited about it. So just they're able to go to a football game without wearing something huge. And again, remember the other magnifiers, you're not able to walk with them at all, just because if things look a lot closer or than you actually are, and it can cost, first of all, it can give you vertigo, and number two, it can cost you to get seriously injured. So yeah, any other questions before we send this out?
So, Josh, this has been.
Yeah, man. Hi.
Are they available in the VA program right now?
So it's fairly new. So we have here in Florida, I've mentioned it. Actually, I'm about to show it to a veteran here on Friday. So yes, all you have to do is say, hey, I'm interested, I would like to know more about the Eastside Go, and then we start the process. So yeah, it's a product that's becoming to, well, you can get all the other e-sites prior to this one through the VA. So this will be, it would be no problem getting them through. It's just a matter of becoming more popular. So again, it's fairly fresh to the industry. So it takes a few months for all the Wisdom bros to learn about it. But once they do, and our veterans are requesting, yeah, it's no problem. Like I said, I get to show it to a veteran on Friday. And that's going to be basically the start of the movement here in Florida. So, which is exciting. But yeah, it just depends on preferences. Yeah, it's an amazing device, really. So
one other question, if I may.
Of
So
course.
if you're not a veteran, what's the price point?
That's a really good question, and you always come up with the tough questions for me to answer. So
That's what
I mentioned Eastside Corporation. They've had a long history of having high priced products, and this one we're starting to feel the effects of getting bought out by a larger corporation. With that being said, previous models will start at 53, 55. 100. This one starts at 49.50, so 4,950. So still out there, but it does accomplish a lot more than other wearables cannot, which is allowed you to walk with them and give you that portability or that movability that not any other wearables can do. So yeah, that's that option there. Now, in the Magnification Company, we do provide financing availability. So if you are, if doing all at once is difficult, which I mean, it is a lot of money. We can do care credit that you can do up to 1 year of what's the word? 0% APR. Yeah, so you don't have to pay for all that, and you can still do payments within 1 year. So there's a lot of options for there. Talk to me if you have any questions. I can guide you to the whole process. But yeah, or we have payment options for it too. So yeah, it's a good question, and it's a little pricey for sure.
And then one of my last questions.
Yes, sir.
The warranty?
Yes, it comes with 1 year warranty on it. So pretty standard on the assisted devices products is within 1 or 2, but the Eastside is 1 year parts and labor.
Is it so it's mostly like a monitor scenario. So is there firmware updates or anything like that? And are they
Yeah, so there are more features to be. They're working on them. I believe they talked about doing OCR. So eventually you're gonna be able to, just like you freeze a picture, you'll be able to take a picture of a full page and allow the product to just read it to you. I know that's coming up. So if you connect your product to Wi-Fi, if there's any software updates, you'll be able to get all those things added to the products whenever it's available to you. So yeah, it does come with Wi-Fi accessibility for upgrades.
Great. Well, Josh, let's see if there's anyone else on the floor that has a question. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Love to come by and answer any questions and kind of show you what fun gadgets are going around. So
Any
It's
other
pretty-
questions?
Yeah, pretty exciting. There's been a few products that's been announced within 3 months, so it's been a fun summer for sure.
And we appreciate you sharing those with us.
Anytime.
Well,
So, any other questions on the east side before we close it?
all right,
Okay.
so I'm going to stop the recording, but before I stop the recording, Josh, once again, thanks for reaching out and being a great contributor to Wisdom for the Blind. You
Really.
can find this on the YouTube channel in the next few days, and we're going to turn the recorder off, but we're not going to close it. Just stand by, please.
You've been listening to Wisdom Tech Talk, coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with an in-studio audience at the Wisdom for the Blind Studios. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And if you know someone who's blind or vision impaired, tell them about the show. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, hit the website at www.w4bv.org. And we'll see you next time on Wisdom Tech Talk.